ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. And Richard, it was a down day from the start to the finish on Wall Street, huh?
Scott, you're absolutely right. The damage early this morning really wasn't too bad, despite some really bad markets in Japan overnight. But as the day went on, the selling increased. Shares in Apple were down by more than 3%, and certainly Apple's had a tough couple of weeks. But what we're looking at now is a market that still is up for the week. At least the Dow and the S&P are up. The Nasdaq's actually been down 7 days in a row. The low of the day was minus 245. The good news is we didn't finish with a loss of quite that much. Let's take a look at the figures. They're not pretty, but there you see the Dow down 211 points, almost 1.2%, closing at 17,830.76. That on heavier volume than we've seen lately, 704 million shares. The Nasdaq, as I say, been down 7 days in a row, down 1.2% today, almost 58 points, closing at 4,805.29. Also on heavier than normal volume of 1,874 million shares. The S&P, the smallest loss of the group, down 0.9%, not quite 20 points, closing at 2,075.81. Well, among all the down arrows, there was an up arrow today. Let's hear it for Facebook, which closed at an all-time high. Facebook announced a record quarter. They went by every conceivable estimate that Wall Street had. They earned 77 cents a share. The consensus was 62 cents a share, and the stock was up by more than 11% at the high of the day, closed with a gain of more than 7.1%. That is impressive enough, but to be up by more than 7% on a day when the market is down by over 200 points, that tells you something. A lot of people think Facebook is doing a lot of things very, very well.
And some people doubted it for a while, but it seems like it's back with a vengeance.
Absolutely.
And Richard, good news from Ford as well.
I'd say very good news. If you report your best quarter in the 113-year history of the company, that's pretty impressive also. That stock was up by more than 3% again in a down market. I don't know if you've driven a Ford lately, but it appears that an awful lot of people have.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for the update. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, Scott.